What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Harinder. Today we are doing more true crime. Today I want to talk about the Axeman serial killer that happened in New Orleans because this dude was kind of out of his mind, but it also led people to enjoy more jazz, so take some, you lose some. So in 1919, this Axeman serial killer would go around, but the weird thing about him, he would spare people if jazz music was playing in the vicinity. For example, if you walk into an establishment and they had a jazz band there, he'd be like, all right, yeah, I'm not killing anyone in here, you guys are good vibes. And that's kind of how it went. Now, you guys think I'm kidding, so let me just put up on the screen and read to you some newspapers that were published for this freak. I am very fond of jazz music, and I swear by all the devils in the nether regions that every person shall be spared in whose house a jazz band is in full swing at the time I have just mentioned. If everyone has a jazz band going, well then, so much the better for the people. One thing is certain, and that is some of those persons who do not jazz it on Tuesday night, if there be any, will get the axe. Dude, that is the craziest threat I've ever heard. Like, play some jazz music and vibe, or else you're gonna get beheaded by an axe. Here's a picture of people. They were literally shitting their pants, obviously scared that, they get the axe. They decided to pop outside and play some jazz music, give him the old razzle-dazzle just in case he decided to come by. Honestly, this makes me think, was the killer somebody that was heavily invested in the jazz industry? For example, maybe a musician, a director, an owner of one of the bands, or one of the houses that have jazz playing in them. And this was their way to drive up business. Because honestly, that seems pretty believable. I don't know about you guys. That's my theory on this jazz man, Axeman. I don't know, I feel like that makes sense. Because it's just so specific to jazz. Or maybe he just loved jazz so much. It snapped him out of his murderous rage whenever he walked into a place and they were playing jazz music. And also, I think this Axeman was targeting mainly Italian people in Louisiana. I'm not sure how many of them were even down there, to be honest with you. But scary nonetheless for the Italians at that time, if that is true. As for the amount of people that he killed 5 people, but he attacked 12. All of them innocent, had no issues. They just weren't vibing out to jazz. He was named America's Bayou Jack the Ripper. That's a pretty hard name, Goes kind of hard. However, after he issued this warning, and I think this is the important part, every single house, every single bar, club, whatever was going on back in 1919, every single one of them played jazz. And you know what? Nobody got hurt that night because of that. Literally, all the dance halls reached capacity. Amateur bands played jazz at hundreds of house parties. There were no murders, no injuries, no nothing. Maybe somebody got a little sloshed and fell over, but nobody got axed, and that's the important part. So, the Axeman is a man of his word. I can respect that. Honestly, the Axeman is probably the lead musician, let's be real. Now for my next true crime story, let's talk about somebody that was so butthurt that he had to stalk people down. He was an author, to be precise. He wasn't just hurt over any other reason other than the fact that these people didn't like his book. So in 2014, an author from the UK, Richard Britton, he posted an unfinished version of his book online. He received a lot of positive feedback, but he received some negative feedback as well. Obviously, with anything, not everybody's gonna love it. He claimed all the negative feedback was from random teenagers. I doubt that's true, but honestly, with his stalking skills that you're about to hear, it might be. One of those reviews was by a teenager named Paige Rolland. She left a review saying she was bored out of her skull. Pretty wild to say. Not really though, but Richard became so angry at the review that he tracked her down online using Facebook. He discovered that she worked at a grocery store in Scotland. So obviously, he had to pull up. He traveled 500 miles from London all the way to where she worked. Found her in an aisle stacking cereal. The dude could not take criticism at all. He picked up a full bottle of wine and smashed it over her head. Now, despite this hard blow, she wasn't seriously injured, thank God. Following the attack, Richard was jailed and he served about 30 months. I think this level of commitment and crazy deserves a little longer. I would say maybe 10 years, 5-10 years, something like that, because that's kind of wild. And this wasn't his only incident. Richard also stalked a university student that he had class with named Ella Grant. Richard also stalked classmate Ella Durant. He used her Twitter and Instagram accounts to find out where she worked, where she was, and just came and pulled up to speak to her on 2 occasions. You know, one time, okay, you know, chill out, dude, don't bother the girl. Twice, honestly, like, you know, you need to get spanked a little bit. After his arrest, he wasn't only jailed, but he was actually prohibited from using electronic devices to track people down. Like, that is just some weird shit to do in general. Like, dude, you need to relax. I guess you can use this as a cautionary tale. Don't post where you are so immediately. Post maybe at the end. You know what I mean? You're paying the check, you're like, all right, let me post all the cool brunch pictures I just took. That's what I do. That's what my friends do. I think it's smart. For the third and last crime case I want to be talking about today, I want to talk about Antoine Yates, who was holding a 350-pound tiger named Ming in his 5-bedroom apartment in Harlem, New York City. He also had a pet alligator named Al living in the room right next to Ming. And no, I am not joking. The dude's name was really Al. That's crazy. Antoine purchased Ming. He was an 8-week-old Siberian tiger at the time. You know, he grew up obviously because he was a 350-pound unit. So this whole thing was discovered in September of 2003. Antoine Yates was, you know, rushed to an ER because he had a huge gash, like bite marks and scratches all over his arms, obviously from a tiger. He claimed it was a pit bull, but dude, these things were just massive. The photos I've seen, huge. There's no way a pit bull could do this. Like, obviously it was a tiger. So they went and investigated his apartment. They did a little wellness check on him. And the funny thing about this, there was a retirement home across the street, you know, an old folks home, and they were all telling people, they're like, yo, we're seeing a tiger in this building across. And I guess nobody believed these old people. They're like, yeah, whatever, you know, dementia Dave, whatever you say, bro, you know. And Antoine Yates was bitten because he was trying to keep Ming away from a pet cat named Shadow that he has. You know, as a fellow owner of a black cat, I would never put my cat in danger with a massive tiger or anything, to be honest. You know, after the incident and the tiger was retrieved, they took him to Noah's Lost Animal Ark Sanctuary in Ohio. That's where he lived out the rest of his life, all peacefully and nice with the other animals. He died from natural causes in February of 2019. And for Antoine Yates, he received a 5-month prison sentence for reckless endangerment. Obviously, if that thing got out, it would have just wreaked havoc. It would have been busting through those doors, eating people, all that. And back to the old folks home, dude, they were telling these people there was a tiger there for years. It wasn't just like a one-time call. It was year after year. They were hitting that 911 and saying, yo, there's a tiger across the street, come get it. Nobody came, dude. Nobody believed them. That's crazy. Thank you guys for joining me on another great video. This is always so fun to make for you guys. I really enjoy making these videos now. I feel like I'm getting more comfortable with YouTube's longer content because I'm a TikToker, as you know. If you don't know, hit me up on TikTok, join the gang. I do true crime and paranormal, mainly true crime now, I feel like. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me on the video. If you like this video and if you want more videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love suggestions, so if you have a suggestion, leave a comment. But I will see you guys in the next video. Hope everyone is doing well.